We are following breaking news. Ethel Kennedy has died. Gene is at the breaking news desk now with what we know. Gene.
All right, Ray, thank you. Well, she was the matriarch of this part of the Kennedy family, the widow of Robert F. Kennedy, the former Attorney General of Massachusetts, and also a senator from New York who was assassinated when he was running for president in 1968. We have a tweet that her grandson, Joe Kennedy III put out, and he put on Twitter earlier, and he of course was the first to put out there that she had suffered a stroke last week, and he says, "It is with our hearts full of love that we announce the passing of our amazing grandmother, Ethel Kennedy. She died this morning from complications related to a stroke suffered last week, along with a lifetime's work in social justice and human rights. Our mother leaves behind 9 children, 34 grandchildren, 24 great-grandchildren, along with numerous nieces and nephews, all of whom loved her dearly. She was a devout Catholic and a daily communicant, and we are comforted in knowing she's reunited with the lover of her life, our father, Robert F. Kennedy, her children, David and Michael, and her daughter-in-law, Mary, and her grandchildren, Maeve and Cyrus, and her great-grandchildren, Gideon and Josie. Please keep her in our hearts and prayers." So that was put out by Joe Kennedy. Of course, Ethel Kennedy was married to Bobby Kennedy. They had 11 children together. She had a lot of heartbreak in her life. She was married 18 years to Bobby Kennedy when he was assassinated in 1968 while running for president in Los Angeles, and she became active in a variety of philanthropic efforts over the years. Of course, raised all the family. Heartbreak. She had lost 2 children. She also lost a grandchild. So she really was a really strong woman who had to endure a lot over her years, yet she was just a picture of strength every time that she was involved in anything with her many public appearances. So again, the big news this morning is that Ethel Kennedy has died at the age of 96. No word on any funeral arrangements or plans of that nature at this point. Certainly, though, we'll keep you up to date on that.
You've covered a lot of the Kennedys, the family, the tragedy, the funerals. What can we expect in the coming days? Well,
I think you will see a lot of remembrances of her life, and speaking of her strength, because she had to endure so much. Her brother-in-law, of course, John F. Kennedy, was assassinated as President of the United States in 1963, and then just 5 years later, it was her husband who fell victim to an assassin's bullet. The children that she also lost, but she was a pillar of strength and a source of inspiration for so many. Her life will be recognized in so many wonderful ways, and the Kennedy family will come together as only they know how. Unfortunately, they have dealt with a lot of heartbreak over the years, but she had something that her husband and that her brother-in-law did not, and that was longevity. 96 years, a lot of children, a lot of grandchildren, a lot of great-grandchildren, and she was very active and very visible with all of that tragedy that happened in her life. So I'm anticipating that there will be a very public and very warm farewell to Ethel Kennedy from especially down on the Cape, Kennedy compound, obviously where the family spent a lot of time, and there'll be an outpouring of love and affection for her and the Kennedy family.